Hi friends, Frances Eve here. Today we are going to stretch the major muscle groups of the body. If you are someone who is a beginner, who doesn't really stretch much or doesn't know how to stretch, this is the perfect video for you. Please subscribe to the channel. I have lots of stretch videos to help you become flexible, strong, and free in your body. Let's get started. Welcome back. We're going to start by working from the bottom of our body all the way to the top. We're going to start with the hamstring, so we'll start by isolating the leg. So I will mirror you. So as I'm pulling my right leg out, you can go ahead and pull out your left leg, and we'll make a straight line. So this line, we want to make sure that it's straight from the hip to the foot, and then this 90-degree angle from the shoulder, hip to foot. So we want to find that angle here, nice 90 degrees. And then the other leg's just coming bent, just comfortably, wherever you feel it's most comfortable. You can have it out here or tucked in here. We just want it out of the way. We want to focus on the left hamstring here, okay? Next, we're going to get on our sit bones. So if we're slumped back here or we're leaning forward, we want to be just right on top of our sit bones. You'll feel it. You'll feel the bone, and you'll sit right on top of it. Now, from here, we're going to actually face our leg. So bringing the body towards the leg, the shoulders pointing towards the foot, and then keeping our spine nice and straight. So notice here, if you have a little hunch, we want to go ahead and lift up so our spine is nice and straight. Our shoulders are facing the foot. Now from here, we're just going to walk our hands forward. So I don't want you to walk them so forward that you hunch over. I want you to walk them forward just enough so that your spine continues to be straight. So I can only go up to here. If I go any further, I'm going to round, and that's okay. But for right now, we want to keep it straight. So just go to however you can. You might notice that you are contracting a little bit in this hamstring. So I'm kind of like squeezing the hamstring to keep it pressed down. This is all really good for alignment. And so I'm helping you in these stretches to find the proper body alignment so that you don't get hurt and you have strength in the places you need to be strengthened and flexibility in the places that need to be flexible. From here, we'll go ahead and point the foot. And now we'll round. So we can walk the hands, rounding the spine, and relaxing forward. Taking some nice deep breaths in here, feeling the opening of the hamstring muscle. Now notice that when I flex my foot, I'm activating the gastrocnemius, or the calf muscle. So notice that in your own leg, pointing your left foot, and then flexing. And notice the difference. So if you're feeling tight in the calf, you want to keep this foot flexed. And ideally your spine straight. This will create a nice tension line all the way from the foot to the top of the shoulder. If you're feeling tighter in the hamstring, you can go ahead and bend the leg or bend the foot and then round over. And you'll get more into the hamstring. So notice that. We'll go ahead and stretch the hamstring, pointed foot, rounded back. Take a few breaths in here. Now it's debatable how long you want to hold this stretch. Ideally, you want to hold it for about 30 seconds, but the kind of stretching that I teach is resistance stretching. So what I would teach is that you would contract the muscle and then you would lift the torso up and then come back down, more of an active stretch. So we're contracting and then coming down. And every time you come down, you actually get a little more flexible. Let's try flexing the foot now, getting into the calf. Ooh, now I feel even tighter. After doing a few of these lifts and forwards, you may notice that when you activate the muscle, you get a little deeper. Very good. Now we're going to activate the adductors, the inner thighs. Super easy to do it from here. All you do is walk the hands over towards your center. Now the hands are over to your center. We can come down, keeping the leg right where it is, bringing the elbows down to the floor. This will open up the adductor muscles, the inside of the thigh. If you find that your leg is rolling too much, you don't need to come down so low. Just come down to however far you can come down so the leg stays pointing up towards the ceiling. I'm feeling a little burn on the inner thigh, so see if you can contract it. We're actually rotating that leg externally, activating the glutes a little bit so we can open up that inner thigh. And breathe. From here, let's open up the side body. So we're going to open up the obliques and the traps as well. And how we do that is we just bring the same arm to the same side of the leg. So if your left leg is out, your left arm is straight. And then even just this, you can start to feel a stretch in the side body, can't you? So from here, we're going to open up the shoulders as much as you can. Get a little spinal twist in here. And this feels really, really nice. You can even come down a little further towards that foot and reach. And then if you still want a deeper stretch, you can lift that arm all the way up towards the top of your head. But we don't want to lose the integrity of the stretch. So if it's like, oh, feeling too much, just go to however feels like the right amount of tension. And keep that chest open. So for collapsing, don't go so far. Bring the arm back and open up. You notice how when we open up this way, we get deeper twist in that low to mid back. Very simple stretch and very intense too if you have any tension in your back. You can release the tension in the neck too. You can just drop the neck, release it. Take some breaths. Good, and we'll come back up. Ooh. Ah, feeling much more open on the left side, which is funny because I love to compare the left and the right after you're done. Right now my right feels kind of like clenched in, just like crushed in, and my left side feels so much more open. All right, let's go ahead and switch sides. So if you just did your right leg out, we'll go ahead and open up the left. And if you just did the left, we'll open the right. So keeping that leg stretched out. And then the other leg, you're just moving out of the way. So we'll bend it. Could be out here, could even be here. It's fine, you gotta get a little stretch in there. But we just want it out of the way. Now we're gonna find our alignment. So moving the leg so the foot is in alignment with the hip. And finding those sit bones. So sitting right on the bone there. Straight spine. We can bring the shoulders to face that right leg and the foot. And let's go ahead and walk forward. Keeping the spine straight, walking forward. Feeling the opening in the hamstring here. Let's go ahead and start with the foot pointed. Oh, I just had a little pop in the hamstring, so if you feel little pops and things, that's good. Things are moving, things are opening. Finding that 90 degree now. The foot, the hip, the shoulder, facing that foot and coming down. Breathe into the hamstring. Feel the contraction pressing down into the mat, lengthening through the spine. And then we'll try flexing the foot. When we flex the foot, we open the calf. Feel the gastrocnemius stretching, lengthening. Taking some breaths in here. Feeling the body naturally adjust. Now let's come back to the pointed foot and then see if we can walk the hands down, rounding the spine a little bit. And breathe. Now from here, bringing the hand on top of the leg, we're going to go ahead and rotate the opposite shoulder open. From here, finding that little spinal twist, rotating open. You can extend the arm to feel a deeper twist. And then if you feel like you could do a little more stretch, raising the arm up towards the top of the head, opening that QL, the quadratus lumborum, the lat here, even getting into the oblique a little bit, stretching open. And breathe. Making sure the shoulders opening up wide, not clenching in, opening up wide here. Feeling that whole side body open. And we can relax the neck, take some breaths. Can even feel a stretch all the way up the arm too. And come back up. Ooh. All right, feeling a bit more balanced. So let's continue with the inner thigh. So we go ahead and flex the foot. We can walk the hands towards the center and then bringing the elbows down. Feel that open the inner thigh now. Again, if you're collapsing too much, you don't need to come to the elbows. You can just come to the hands and come down a little bit with that straight spine. Lengthening through the spine, feeling the opening in the adductor. Couple more breaths. And we'll walk it up. All right. Bringing the feet together in butterfly pose. We'll open up the inner thighs one more time. So just pulling the feet in towards the groin here. So depending on where you are in your body, how flexible you are, you can have the feet out here, a little bit further away from you, or you pull the feet as close as you can to your groin, and that actually open a bit deeper on the inside here. So play with distance between your feet and your hips. I like to pull it in a little bit closer. And then make sure you're on your sit bones. Straighten the spine and come down forward. And breathe. If you want a little extra challenge, you can bring the hands to gently press down on the knees. But no rounded spine, keeping the spine straight. I'll show you from the side angle. Butterfly, hands on knees, press down gently and come forward. Relax the shoulders and breathe. we want to get a little resistance in there, we can squeeze our butterfly wings up and then gently push them back down for a few times, squeezing up, activating those inner thighs. You might have a little shaking in here, and pressing down. One more time, squeeze up and exhale. Stretch even deeper. You can also bring your hands out in front of you, keeping that spine straight. And relax the belly. Good. Last thing we'll do for our legs today is getting into the quads. So the quads can be very sensitive just because they are attached to the knee, of course. So if you have sensitive knees, take this one easy. What we want to do is we'll start with my right leg, but we go ahead and grab onto the ankle and then bring the foot back so your knee is facing the top of the mat and your foot's facing behind the mat. Keeping the spine straight, we're going to bring the shoulders back and find your sit bones. Now from here, you may already feel a stretch. If you're extra tight in the quads, this already may be good enough. If you want more of a stretch, come down onto the elbows. And if you want more of a stretch, bring that foot closer to the groin and kick into the mat. When I kick into the mat, what I'm doing is I'm actually opening up the hip flexor here. Always pushing the shoulders back and down, kicking in, and lifting up through the hip flexor. You may feel that you want to come down as well. You can do this. But to be honest, I actually feel a deeper stretch when my elbows are pressed down and my foot's pressing down. I feel like I have more control this way. So play with it and take some breaths. If you want more of a challenge, you can even bring that foot to the top of the quad and open up even deeper. That's only without losing the integrity of the position. On your next breath, we'll gently come out of the pose. And changing sides. Pulling the foot back behind you, knee forward, pressing hands into the mat, and finding those sit bones. Finding your posture here, bringing the elbows down, if that feels good to you, and shoulders back and down. If you want more of a stretch, bringing the foot in closer and kicking down into the mat. You notice how this lifts up the leg, creating more tension in the hip flexor. The hip flexors tend to get really tight on most of us just because they get tight when we sit, when we drive. So this is a really nice way to reverse that position. And taking some breaths in here. On your last breath, we'll come back up. All right, my hips are feeling pretty juicy. I don't know about you guys. We're gonna go get into the arms and shoulders a little bit. This is also part of the major muscles. You know, we have the hamstring, quads, glutes, lats. We want to get into the triceps a bit, and then shoulders and neck. So what we want to do first is we're going to bring one arm to a 90-degree angle. So if you're watching, you want to mirror me, move your right arm up to 90, and then take your other hand to the elbow. We're going to pull the arm across the body, and you'll notice that you feel tension or stretch in the deltoids here. We'll go ahead and open up the arm again and create a little bit of resistance. I'm resisting a little bit, I'm opening up, and then I'm also closing the arm, feeling the contraction in the delts. Now from here, we can straighten the arm, and because we're all different, we all have different areas of tension in our body, you may not feel a stretch here. You may have to lift the arm up and then pull across, or you may have to bring it down below and pull across from here. So I want you to stretch in whichever angle feels like the most tension. And when you feel that stretch, see if you can contract the arm, meaning pulling the arm out a little bit and then pulling it back in. Just a few times like we did in the legs before, pushing out, pulling in, pushing out, and pulling in, and see if you can get a deeper stretch all alongside the outer part of the arm here. And breathe. Good. From here we're going to get into the triceps. So bending the arm again. This time we're going to move the elbow in front of us. Our hand's going to come to the elbow again. This time, instead of pushing out, we're actually going to push down. So as we were coming out last time and across, we're coming down and up. So bringing the elbow down, we're going to push it up. And from here, opening up the traps. So as the elbow comes down, I'm pushing up, the triceps get a stretch, and I'm reaching for the traps here. With the fingertips. If the ribs are coming out like this, you want to see if you can bring them in a bit. Isolating that arm, reaching for the traps of the fingers, pulling the elbow back, and you'll be opening this whole underside of the arm. Trying to relax the belly as much as you can, relax the ribs, and breathe. Now from here, if you want to go a little deeper, you can actually pull the arm to the side. So I'll face you. You're here. See if you can open up even deeper by pulling to the side. This actually will open up the lats also. And coming back out. Ah. Ooh, how do you guys feel? I noticed that opened up my neck on that side too. My neck actually feels so much more open on this side. Let's continue with the same side. So actually pulling the ear, dropping the ear down to your right. We'll go ahead and bring the left hand across the head to touch your ear on the opposite side. We'll create a little resistance by pushing the head down towards the shoulder. And then we're gonna pull the head all the way towards the opposite side on the exhale. So contracting the neck, pulling it over to the same side, and then opening it up nice and long, letting gravity drop it down. One more time, activating that neck in this active stretch, squeezing down and pulling all the way open to the other side, letting gravity drop it down. And breathe. If you want to get a stretch for your eyes, your ocular nerve as well, you can actually look up towards the top corner of the eye. And this helps to stretch your ocular nerve. And also helps to relax your nervous system. Deep breaths. One more breath, and we'll go ahead and drop the hand down and drop the neck down to center. Very good. We'll come to the other side. I get a little high from that. I don't know if you guys do, but I always feel, ooh, it's a bit cloudy after that, like floaty, you know? It's a nice feeling. Love stretching, this natural high we get. Let's go ahead and move to the other side. So bringing this 90-degree arm, hand to the elbow. We're gonna bring it across the body, opening the delts. Yes. And open back up and pull across. Make sure the shoulder's down and away from the body. And then you'll really feel it behind the scapula opening up. One more time. Open, pulling across, and then straightening out. Find your angle. It might be here, it might be a little higher than here, or it might be a little lower. For me, it's a little higher, so I'm gonna hold it here and breathe. Nice, one more breath, and slowly come back. Okay, we're gonna do the triceps now. Bringing the hand to that 90 degrees. Opposite hand to the elbow. And we're gonna pull the elbow down and lift it up. Pull down, lift up. I'll show you from this side. Pulling down, lifting up, reaching those fingers to reach and pull those ribs back down in. Relax your belly and breathe. Reaching the fingertips down the trap. Oh, it feels so good. Sometimes we have tension in our bodies we don't even realize until we stretch, right? Okay, from here, pulling over to the side, opening up the traps. Yes. And reach and breathe. And slowly make your way down. Oh my goodness. All right, now we have the neck and we'll be done. So we're gonna go ahead and drop the left ear down, the left shoulder. Take the opposite hand, touch the ear over the head, create some resistance, coming down and then lifting straight long neck all the way over to the other side. And pull down, contract, inhale, and then exhale, open up. One more time, contract, squeezing in here. And exhale, open all the way, all the way, all the way up. And take those eyes and look up towards the corner, top corner. Stretching the whole vagus nerve. And on your last breath, come back up. We'll go ahead and take those arms and wrap them around the body. See if you can hold on to those butterfly wings, the scapula. And side to side rock. Please leave feedback below if there's a stretch that you didn't get to see that you wanted to learn. Let me know. I'd love to support you in your healing journey and to help you feel good and free in your body. Have a beautiful, wonderful day.